All right, guys, here we go. It's the final hour 20-ish minutes left of Bad Kitty this evening. And we are going to hang out with you all tonight, do a little chit chat. We've already gone a little bit off book in the green room before we got here. So there might be a little bit of kaiju spill over. Be prepared for that. But we are going to talk about Bad Kitty. We're going to talk about art tonight. We're going to talk about whatever it is you guys want to talk about as well on this odd Tuesday night evening to wrap up a campaign. It was supposed to be tomorrow, but somebody who will remain nameless, me, did clearly something wrong. So we're ending tonight. This is it. But as you can see, $10,098, 240 backers. We have, like I said, about an hour and 20-ish minutes left. So this is your opportunity to ask questions about the campaign. We're going to scroll through it a little bit here as well, so you can see what's going on. And we have guests. We have a co-host Shawnee is
Hello.
with us as per always.
Rawr, kaiju.
That's right. We have artist CB Zane.
The ever popular CB Zane.
I do.
Shazam. And we have Mr. Purple Haze himself.
Woohoo. Brian Purple
I'm
Haze
disappearing.
Peterson.
How
I
bad?
love it. It's got the smoke. It's kaiju breath.
Kaiju breath for sure.
That's
Yeah.
right. Something is going on over there. And you know, but it's fine. It's fine.
It's all
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. We're all fine.
Yeah, so here we are, guys. Let me get rid of this dumb sidebar thing. There we go. So here we are, guys. We're in the final stretch of this what has been for me almost 2.5 years, and what's been about 2 years and 3 months for CB working on this crazy book. For those that don't know, Bad Kitties, of course, as you can see, a Dynamite production. We'll scroll this down a little bit more here. Boom, there we go. Dynamite production, Dynamite Comics. So Bad Kitty is an old Chaos Comics book from way back in 2001 is when she debuted. And in 2021, I got in contact with Nick Barucci over at Dynamite Comics. And I basically just threw a random, hey, if you ever need some Bad Kitty, we can do this for you. And he was interested, and we decided to put together a crowdfunding element for this. And the guys at Dynamite, in all honesty, they gave me pretty much carte blanche to build this thing how I wanted to build it. And CB was one of the guys that I pitched from an artistic standpoint, and they were like, "Yep, go. That's good." I pitched I think I pitched 7 artists for covers. There was only one that we didn't get, and that was just because of scheduling. So as you can see, we did get Joe Lindsner to do one. We have Bill McKay, we have Brian Peterson, we have Shannon Mayer, we have Maria Sanapo, and there's even an MR Gunn exclusive for the campaign. So if you guys were in on the Indiegogo, which happened late last year, I think it was like September, October. Dynamite did this on Indiegogo. If you got all of them, there is a new cover that is available from MR Gunn, which we'll show you a little bit later too. But let's let CB give you a little 411 on his side of this thing and how it all went down for him.
Yeah. So Tom contacted me. Well, it was was it 2 years ago?
It was 2021.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Late 2021.
Yeah. And said, hey, got this thing going. Would you be interested in doing Bad Kitty? And he explained, what Bad Kitty was. And I remembered it from its original run with Chaos, along with a couple of the other characters. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. So, the first thing I did was the cover, which was the cover I did was probably done a year before I even started working on the interiors, or it was pretty close to it anyway. And Tom had pitched me that idea, knew it was going to take place in the South. in Louisiana. So my first thought was swamps, and then when he talked about this what are we calling a weregator?
Lichen gator.
Lichen
Lichen gator. In the background, we worked on make sure that we had the right look for Bad Kitty, which was pretty easy to go with because there was reference to work from, but the lichen gator was a whole process, trying to combine an alligator into this monstrous form, and so we went back and forth a little bit, not too much, and so he is lurking in the background, and just had a lot of fun. A lot of I wanted to have that atmosphere in the comic on the cover, and I've talked about this on other shows, but I really like when a cover can sort of tell a story, and I think there's a little story element going on there too. So it was cool. And then when I saw what Chris Chua did with the colors, I was just like, man, he just created such a cool lighting effect in there that I wasn't expecting it. And one of my favorite parts is just kind of seeing how the moonlight comes through the leaves, and you can see the leaves reflected off of Bad Kitty there as she's lurking through the water. And I think it turned out really, really nice. And
yeah, that was all him too. That was not me telling him like we want those shadows.
Yeah,
that was just that was just a decision he made, and because the art didn't have like shadows on her.
Yeah.
And sometimes those crazy artistic choices come out amazing like that.
Yeah.
And then the story is there. Badass chick is being stalked by a lichen gator. There you go.
Yeah. Can never go wrong with badass chicks stuck by lichen gators. Practically an American staple.
That's like the title of a comic book now. Like the title for comics are so long.
Yeah.
It's never like Superman. It's like Superman came from Krypton and now he lives on Earth. Yay.
It's the trendy thing, right? Yeah. So, and then I eventually got to work on the interiors, and which was really cool because Tom always provides a really sound, detailed story, and if there's any elements in it that he's like, yeah, this needs to be in it, then it's either very detailed in terms of the way he describes it, or he even provides pictures. Hey, this is like there's a scene in there where Bad Kitty's riding over a very specific bridge outside of New Orleans, and so he's like, it needs to be this bridge, and like certain things need to take place in a certain area. So it was really cool working from that. Like I said, a badass chick doing supernatural things, battling supernatural things. Awesome. I didn't know if you wanted to have Brian chime in there with his cover came.
No, we don't need. Well, he can just be quiet.
He can sit there and look pretty.
It's fine.
Yeah.
So yes, we got a bunch of covers here. Here is Mr. MR Gunn's exclusive cover. Again, all those covers that we just showed you were part of the Indiegogo. So if you bought them on Indiegogo, I know people are getting their packages. So keep your eyes open for your mailbox. Those are on the way. This one is exclusive to Kickstarter. It is only available here. So if you did not grab this one, this will be your last chance to do so. And then we do have some of the pages that CB was talking about. There's the bridge.
Yep.
There it is in all its glory.
Yeah.
The bridge and the town. I mean, I really gave him reference for the whole city that we were going into. Did a great job. And we had a guy who read the book, and he was like, I know where that is. Like, I recognize all of that. And I was like, okay, good. That was the point.
Yeah.
Check.
I don't really like necessarily always want to put, stories in specific real locations necessarily. But in this case, we're talking about Louisiana so significantly in New Orleans and stuff. So I was like, you know what, we just kind of have to really make this work. We go into a random town on the road, we can do anything we want. But if we're going to be in New Orleans, we're going to be in Louisiana, we got to have it look like that's where we are. So, yeah.
And I know, Tom, you're big into like researching, background and history when it comes to writing, and I kind of really like doing that when it comes to art too, like finding what the waterfront looked like in New Orleans here. You know, like you provided that reference for the bridge, but then just finding elements that felt like Louisiana, that felt like New Orleans, was it's a cool challenge. I like doing that.
Especially without resorting to Mardi Gras.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Too
Or the
easy.
Superdome.
Too easy. Too easy. If you know me, that's
You
too
are-
easy.
Without being cliched.
Yeah, you know, it's funny too that you say that, because you know when you start referencing, like, you know, some of the action takes place sort of downtown New Orleans. Like all you ever get is Mardi Gras pictures to work from, and or Bourbon Street, and it's like, okay, well, what else? There's got to be other parts of
There's
it.
a lot more than just that.
So you
yeah.
start kind of like I started using elements from little pieces and combining them to keep that New Orleans feel without it necessarily being directly New Orleans. But that splash page we had before, if you go back, I remember, yeah, that one. The first time I drew it, I drew this, what I thought was this big gator coming out of the water, and Tom was like, it needs to be bigger, and I made it a little bigger, and he's like, no, like I want it like big, like huge, like, and I was like,
Jaws
okay,
big.
like
Yeah.
this, and he was like, yes.
He was drawing these like normal gators, you know,
Yeah.
like
Oh, you
Like-
know.
like this comic book is called Alligator. Like, no, we
Yeah.
want like I want a gator.
Yeah,
Give me
Well,
something.
you want
Like I want to see
Super
this guy get swallowed, basically. And yeah.
yeah. The texture of drawing the gator was a fun, maddening challenge too. But
I can just imagine. Yeah, it looks like it.
yeah,
Scales
a
are
lot,
tough.
lot of
man.
reference work there.
And the rocks on the rock wall there along the
Yeah,
waterfront.
rocks. I don't know, Brian, if you'll agree, but I know rocks are kind of cool to draw. And I kind of learned to love to draw rocks by watching or looking at George Perez's work, especially when he had to run with Tara in the Teen Titans, because she, you know, manipulated the earth and all that stuff, and he was just so good at it. But
The rocks aren't bad. You know, I kind of studied Jim Lee for rocks, and you know he's, you know, they're just basic, really generic. A lot of you can just put kind of
Very inspired by Jim Lee's
Yeah.
A little shadow, a little depth. I mean,
Stones inspired by Jim Lee.
pretty easy.
There's a motto for you.
Where did you get your
Rocks, you get
inspiration
you
for all
throw
of you?
rocks and almost anything. You're like, yeah, at least that's a little something in there.
right,
Yeah, so there is Brian's cover with not so much rock, but I don't know what you make I don't know what you make that out of.
Blasted headstones.
Concrete or something, I guess those
Yeah.
things are made out of. Concrete headstones, I guess.
Those are marble.
Marble.
No, I'm
Okay.
just kidding. I don't
Oh,
know.
well, the marble
Most
that's a
headstones
thing.
are marble, but I don't know.
That is a
what those
thing. Yeah, now that you say marble,
they,
that's,
they were left over props from the first Matrix movie.
There you go. Yep.
I-
Yes, marble with bullet holes.
Yeah, the bullet holes are awesome.
Yeah, you know, that's fun. I wanted to put her in a graveyard. Anything, you know, that's got the kind of dark vibe. You can't go wrong with the graveyard, of course. I was really actually surprised because I had no idea what they were going to do with the colors. You know, Elenia is very surprising at times, and I kind of thought this was going to be a nighttime piece, and then they came back with like full daytime, like pow, and Tom was like, "Yeah, I wanted it to pop." Everybody else says it was dark, so we went light. I was like, "Oh,
Yep.
looks pretty good. I like that."
I
Yeah,
like the contrast. Yep.
well, yeah, we wanted, I mean, if you look at all these things, like I didn't want everybody to just come in and be like, hey, I've got a gun on my shoulder. Like I didn't want that. I wanted everything to kind of be able to be its own thing. You know, you got your story cover here, you've got your in your face cover here, cosplay, of course. We've got the walking away from the
We
explosion.
got the action.
Yep. You've got
This-
you know, the here's both of my guns happening here.
The over the shoulder.
why did you gloss over the lichen polar bear cover in a snowstorm?
Yeah, this is for when she goes to Alaska.
This is called Whiteout.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Then we get to see her bike there. And again, even the colors, we're trying to. There's a lot of explosions and stuff, but like there's a darker one here. There's no background here. This one I just wanted it. I knew everything. I knew we were going to have some blue stuff from like here's some blue here. So I was like, just make that. Just give us that setting sun. That something that's going to not be obvious that people would kind of expect, like Brian was expecting, like that would be the moon. But no, I wanted the setting sun, and it looked great. And then of course Joe Linsner joined us, and some more cosplay there, and MR Gunn. And so then we're back into some of the pages here.
I like how occasionally the logo too is a slightly different color, which helps with Pop It. So
yeah, oh yeah, absolutely,
that was interesting.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I just wonder if Brian's cover would look better if it was a rising sun.
Rising.
So I found as I'm looking here, I found an edit that you goofed.
Uh-oh.
Do you see it?
Is it
and I only
because
just saw it right now.
no panty line on the hip?
Yeah, the last one doesn't have the thong
Oh,
up
how
on
does
the
it
hip.
have it up and over the
Well,
hip? Yep.
she's changing.
We'll go with that. There we go.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. You didn't see when she hiked her pants up in between those panels.
Oh, okay. I got you.
And then the next one, they slid back down again, right? So that's.
I suppose you're going to tell me I left Catnip's ears out of some panel too.
Yeah, no, there's no way that happened. There's no way that happened ever.
And the infamous leather corset.
Yep.
Yep,
Bulletproof.
And the armory there.
Mm-hmm.
Fun little, just bonus story details to play around with. Same with this panel, or this page rather, with her silver garrote wire, and when you read this story, you kind of understand what's happening here too. Like she's got a bottle of holy water that she's throwing up, shooting it, and then the holy water sprinkles on the gator, and that's why you see all the stuff steaming off of the guy because it's burning him. Just that was kind of some of the stuff I wanted to do to kind of level up the character base a little bit, so that she was kind of sort of a little James Bondy with the appropriate gear for whatever it is that she has to deal with. So this came out really good. Although, as you can see, the gator's like, yeah, screw your wire, lady.
So I got to throw out something real quick here. Is the universal weapon for were creatures silver? Does that apply to all were creatures?
Pretty much the way that I understand it, yes. Silver is a lichen problem in general. Yes. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Some may mess around with their worlds and make it different, but
Yeah,
overall,
there are always exceptions. I mean, there's way too much monster stuff in
But-
the world.
yeah.
I mean, there's even some because part of like what I do with Ursa Minor, right, is that the vampires and the werewolves both have their silver problems. But in some vampire stories, silver is not even a thing. It's just like, whatever. So yeah, lore can change, but I have never come across
high
lichen
percentage
stuff
of them
that
are.
doesn't necessarily like be active about telling you like get some silver bullets, man. But generally, silver, if it is mentioned, is like, yeah, you need some silver stuff. I mean, I've even seen even with vampires, right? I've seen that it has to be a wooden stake to go in the heart. But then in other ones, they're just like, yeah, here's a steel thing. It goes, it's just a stake is a stake. So, I don't think there's any rules to the lore for this stuff that you
I
have
read
to
a few
have.
books
So
too.
I'm going to go
where
left for a
the
second.
wood has to be a very specific wood. It can't just be any wooden stake either. It has to be very.
That's right. There was one thing where I read that the wood had to be made from their coffin that they were buried in. Like
I've
so
heard
some
that.
of it got really hyper specific. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And I'm
great.
like, well, a little too specific for me.
There's a Creep Show television series. It's based off of the movies, the Creep Show movies.
Yep.
It's on Shudder. I don't know if you guys have seen it or not. Most people don't have Shudder. But
I've seen some of them.
there was a Christmas special, and I'm just gonna go ahead and ruin it, just because you guys haven't seen it or whatever. But there it deals with lichen creatures, and there's this therapy group for lichens, and they all kind of get together and talk about their problems and like what they went through when they had their transformations and whatever. But they're all different creatures. Like you'd expect it to be werewolves and whatever, but there's lichen turtles, lichen whatever, and it's a whole group. But they said their weakness or their nemesis, I guess, is Santa Claus. And Santa is an avid hunter of lichens, and that's his main mission in life is to kill all the lichens. And all of the Santas that are in the at the malls and stuff, those are all his minions, and they are on the hunt for lichens forever. So now there's all these mall Santas, and it just so happens one of these mall Santas followed one of the lichens to their little get together,
to their therapy group.
Yeah, there's a big battle between a whole group of these crazy lichen creatures versus a giant evil Santa. It's just kind of fun. It's fun if you like lichen stuff.
A Santa mall Santas as assassin guild with the head honcho fighting all the various lichens.
See, that sounds so much better than Violent Night. Like that's so much better.
I have to say that is a movie I would go watch.
I kind of like Violent Night.
I mean, it was okay. If you're an action movie fan, it's fine.
Which I am, and so I was okay with it. I liked it.
It checks the action movie boxes. Exactly. But for me, I wanted more like Santa stuff, like weird Santa stuff. Like they would kind of use the bag in some ways, like sticking their hands into it and stuff and pulling things out. I wanted a little more creativity in the action elements than just I
thought the ending was pretty creative.
It's just Home Alone shtick, and I'm like, oh my god, it was fine. It was fine, but I just wanted a little more, especially since they were starting to give it to us. I was like, give me a little more, give me a little more, give me a little more. And then same with like his origin story, right? They give you the big bad origin story, but we don't really get a ton of that. So I would have liked more of that too.
Part 2.
Well, supposedly that's what they're saying. I mean, not that those things are that difficult anymore. I mean, they were talking about Megan 2, which was just a dumpster fire of a movie.
I still haven't seen that yet. I got to.
I thought you were taking your kid to see it.
We were going to go see it, but she was going to bring her friends, and then it just fell through. It didn't work out. So.
Come on, Megan was American Girl doll meets Terminator. It was what it was. It didn't try to pretend to be better than. I liked it because it just was what it was.
It was such a disjointed thing, and then like when they got to the part that everybody loves, the dancing part, it's like, where did that come from? Yeah, like they weren't really. I mean, there was a little dancing scene earlier, like one time. Yeah, but like it wasn't like they were like on YouTube dancing, and then suddenly you got to the end, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna kick this in," and she starts like it all of it was so disconnected for me.
Oh, man, it's TikTok fuel. That's all.
Oh, it is. 100% it is.
Anything you see in a movie now, it's got to have a little dance for some TikTok fuel. They're going to get way more viewers if they can have all these girls doing the dance.
I don't disagree, dude. I do not disagree.
Before we get too far away from werewolves, Tom, were you the one talking about Viking Wolf? Did you say something about it or no?
I didn't.
I don't know where I heard it. That was a pretty decent werewolf movie. I think it's a Norwegian movie.
What's it called?
Netflix.
I've heard some people talk about how it didn't quite live up.
But I'll be honest. I have about maybe like 20 minutes to go to finish it up. But what caught my eye as someone was talking about it, it pays homage to Jaws. In fact, there's an autopsy scene that uses the words from the Jaws autopsy scene, like word for word. And it pays homage a little bit to American Werewolf in London,
sure.
But still kind of is still its own movie. I know it sounds like a weird combination, but from what I've seen, unless the ending absolutely nosedives, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's one of those that I'll probably get to at some point.
What's the movie called again? I didn't hear the name.
Viking Wolf.
Viking Wolf. I haven't heard of that.
Yeah.
It's relatively new in the streaming lands. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys seen what is it? Wolf of Snow Creek?
No.
Snow Creek. No, I haven't seen that one.
It's a newer like werewolf movie. I saw it on Prime. It was on Prime. It might still be on there. I think that's what it's called.
It sounds familiar. I've been looking through that. I think that's one of the things that I saw, and I was like, that's probably terrible. And I just kept going.
It's got a really good rating, and I actually had like I kind of enjoyed it, but then when it got to the end, I was kind of pissed off after I saw how it ended. Not because it was a bad ending. Actually, a lot of people really liked the ending, but it's not the ending that I wanted. I was like,
Well, there you go. Yep.
yeah, it was decent.
Yeah, I watched this thing called The Call Girl of Cthulhu. Wow.
You
Wow.
stopped on that one, but you passed by Wolf of Snow Creek.
I had to stop on that one. That was a must. Like, and it wasn't. It's not true. I saw it. I looked at it. I was like, "That's terrible," and I went away. And as I was scrolling away, there was absolutely nothing else that I wanted to see. And so I was like, "Well, scroll back. Tick, 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 tick. Let's go ahead." And what's the disappointing part is that it didn't commit all the way through. Like when you're watching it at the beginning, this is just stupid, and you're laughing at the stupid of it, and you're just like, fine, I'm in, this is stupid, let's go. And then as you get kind of towards the end, they're kind of like, should we make a movie now? Like, maybe we should make a movie. And it kind of gets too serious and too, it kind of loses all of the fun nonsense that it was running with. I will tell you that they have some of the greatest tentacles I have ever seen on screen, particularly for what is essentially a camcorder film.
That's what I was just gonna say. If this looks like it's filmed on a camcorder, I don't know if I can watch it unless it's supposed to be like one of those.
What was it called?
Survival.
Call Girl of Cthulhu.
Call Girl.
Call Girl.
Call Girl.
Sometimes
Yeah,
that's
so
a
like
deal
Call of
breaker for
Cthulhu,
me.
but it's Call Girl. Yeah.
Ugh.
It's yeah. I mean, I there's nothing here where I'm telling you to take your time and watch it. And it is one of those really low budget things where they're like, I'm getting my iPhone and we're going to make a movie. But again, at the beginning, you're just laughing because it's just, this is terrible. But obviously, purposefully, we're just having fun out here. And so that's why I liked it. And then when it got to be where they were like, we probably should make a movie now, I was so less interested in them making a real movie at that point, because I just wanted them to go full, just take me to the end, guys, with the nonsense. Just take me there. But it got too serious, and I was kind of like, okay. So the ending kind of fell apart. But
I have to laugh.
like I'm laughing right now because there's this
Call Girl of Cthulhu getting
ridiculous
too
scene.
serious. That just boggles my mind.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but that's exactly what happened. Like as it went along, it just got more sort of real. There's this scene where these two girls are just full on making out, and I still don't really know why. And when they kind of pull apart, like the makeup is just everywhere. Like
A hot mess. Yeah.
it's just like, oh my God, this is it's so funny. It's so funny, but halfway through it starts to go the wrong way. So Call Girl of Cthulhu. I mean, it's up to you guys. It's up to you.
Hey Brian, I couldn't find the Wolf of Snow Creek, but I found the Wolf of Snow Hollow.
That's the one. That's
Yeah.
the one. Yeah, it's worth a watch. It's a good kind of horror movie. It's got a twist at the end. I don't want to say anything about a twist, but
The twist is it's not a hollow; it's a creek.
it didn't twist the
There you
way I
go.
wanted it to twist.
Freddie, what's your favorite werewolf thing? Give us, or anyone that's watching. What's your favorite werewolf thing?
Hi, Freddie. By the way, I think I was in the middle of talking when you said, "Hey."
I will say that I've now made a werebear, which obviously we know there's werebears in the world of fantasy, which I didn't really know that, but I kind of knew that I knew that.
Oh, the Howling.
And the Howling, this is why Freddie and I get along, because this is the right answer. This is the right answer. But when I did the Lichen Gator, I was pretty sure that the lichen gator was going to be kind of a fairly new thing, and then CB ends up telling me, no, not really.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay. So probably anything that you want to turn into a lichen has probably been done.
Well,
I love
you
it
know,
how we mixed it up. Some things it's lichen, sometimes it's where. It's just
Yeah.
Well,
thrown
yeah, the
in.
lichen is sort of like when you get into the scientific
Yes,
sort of terminology of these things.
which makes me laugh
'cause
because lichen
weregator
gator that
just
is not
sounds dumb.
scientific at all.
Yeah, for some reason werebear sounds great, but
Yes.
weregator just doesn't work.
And lichen bear is kind of
croc,
weird.
you know,
So yeah, so
Yeah, no. So lichen gator is good. Lichen gator's good.
lichen gators and werebears.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
This is Tom's world.
Yeah.
And incidentally, the Howling. We were talking about that movie you were talking about with the self-help group for the werewolves. That's what the Howling is about. The
Oh,
Howling
yeah.
is
Yeah.
about a group of werewolves trying to figure out, like,
What the hell
you
happened?
know. Yes.
Anything
yes.
with Kate Beckinsale is the right answer.
Yes.
Well, except
I'm
for
with you.
Underworld 2.
I'm with you, Freddie.
Underworld
No,
2 is
it still
terrible.
has Kate Beckinsale in it.
Well, this Underworld 2 has Kate Beckinsale out of the leather, so
Yeah.
it has that. Does
Yeah,
have
I
still
really
a
like
movie,
Kate
so-
Beckinsale movies, but those Underworld movies are kind of painful a little bit. I try to watch them. I think I stopped at like part 3, and I was like, I can't even finish this movie.
Yeah.
I like the original. I like Underworld.
Yeah, the
The
first
rest
one
of them are kind of like.
First one.
First one's good. The second
I'll
one,
watch it
I will
because
say-
it has Kate Beckinsale, and then
It gets way too deep. They're like the Lycan armies of the past are now, blah. I'm like, I don't
care.
really care about all this.
Yeah. I mentioned this before. Shawnee, you may have even been part of this conversation, but my favorite, it's not my favorite werewolf movie, but it's my favorite werewolves on screen. It's from the movie Wolves. I know I told Tom about this. He was like,
yeah,
just-
and I went and looked at that, man, and I was like, yo, this looks like Werewolf 90210 happening here. Like, this is like a CW.
It wasn't that bad, but I love the effects, the look of the werewolves. I thought was really cool. It's got Jason Momoa in it, I think, and
Yeah, and I'm also
a little while
discovering.
since I've seen it.
Yeah, and I'm also discovering that anything with Jason Momoa is becoming a no for me.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of Jason Momoa.
Come on,
there
you
was-
like Aquaman?
there was something. The what?
Aquaman.
Oh,
With Jason
Aquaman. Yeah, Aquaman. Aquaman was okay. There's a movie on Netflix that I couldn't finish. I wanted to finish. I think it's called The Bad Bunch or something. It's a post-apocalyptic
Yeah.
thing where they banish people into the desert and there's cannibals and whatever. And it's like Momoa's just always just Momoa. Like there's just and even beyond that, it's just like the movies that he's in. It's very much like Dave Bautista. It's like there's just nothing in these movies for me. So Momoa has become a no-go for me, or at least not an attraction. If he's in it, it's like whatever, but he's not an attraction for me.
He's no draw for you. It's like,
Yeah. I'm not thrilled
think
with
he's
the,
more of a
I am
draw
interested in the
for
idea
lady
that
than the
he's going
guy
to be
in front of
Lobo, maybe theoretically. But again, I don't care about Lobo as a character.
Yeah,
It's all that's kind of a toss away for me.
I like them as Khal Drago in Game of Thrones.
Dude, he didn't even make it through the season.
I
Wow.
can't think of
I-
any movie
I
that
actually
I
never
ever
watched any of Game of Thrones, so
It's funny
I'm
because
probably one of the few people on
Yeah.
the planet who's never seen any of it. So
I've tried to watch it a few times, and then one time after
Well-
season 8, because I watched season 8, right? And I was like, okay, let me like watch this, and because everybody's talking about Drago and the girl and whatever, and I'm like, yo, this dude didn't even make it through season 1.
Nope.
How is he like so crazy popular? He croaked it before season 1 ended.
Why it leaves you wanting more. Freddie's right though about The Rock. The Rock is always The Rock. Just like
Rock
Ryan
is always the
Reynolds.
Rock.
Ryan Reynolds is always Ryan Reynolds now.
Yep.
Yeah, the Rock is always the Rock. The one exception is
Deadpool.
it's Jumanji, because all of those actors had to at some point in the movie become the alternate characters. So like
Yeah.
Jack Black was like the
girl.
cheerleader girl or whatever, right? Like
Yeah.
so
Hilarious.
when Rock had to become sort of like the timid guy,
Yeah.
For periods of that thing. You could see that he can do stuff, but I think the problem is that he just is only in action stuff, so he doesn't
Yeah.
really have to be anything but The Rock.
No.
He's
But
never
you know
been,
that it also works for me because I want to see The Rock. I don't necessarily need to see him like crying tears and distraught over the death of his wife per se. You know.
yeah, we
like
don't need to see the pebble. We're there for The Rock.
Yeah, right.
He already branched out.
like him in,
made
I like him in the
Tooth Fairy.
action, and I like him in the comedies and everything else. And yeah, so watching him in something deeper, I'm like,
Yeah.
no.
What's up, Mike?
I'm there for the eye candy. It's all good.
Yeah.
Sorry, Brian. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just spouting out stuff.
Oh, you mean you fit
Brian,
right
is
in
that
with all
a
of us?
face
Just
hugger
like-
you got behind you?
That is, yes.
That is awesome.
Oh, cool.
Xenomorph and a face hugger back here.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Life size. If you
Yep, there's you.
Nice.
look.
That's awesome.
This is one of my prints that I sell. I have these at my shows, and it's been a good one for me.
I'll definitely have to get that from you.
Oh yeah, I've got two sizes. I got this. This is my mega print. It's 24 inches by 48 inches. I also
Oh,
have a smaller size. It's 12 by 24.
okay.
That's some serious face hugger visuals there.
It's life size. You put it on your wall. It looks like you got a xenomorph coming out of your wall.
All right,
That's
then. That's cool and scary all at the same time. I like
So-
it on your wall.
So as a quick update, we are now at 10,184, 243 backers. We have converted now. We've converted a lot today. We had 250 followers for this thing, but we had only converted somewhere in the 40s, something like that, maybe in the 50s. We've converted 64 followers now today. So those that were following have gotten involved. 243 backers, 41 minutes, guys, 41 minutes to go on, as you can see on Bad Kitty here. So if you have questions about this campaign, if you have not backed it yet, you have 41 minutes to do so. And we were showing off some of CB's pages here. So this is what the inside of the book looks like. We like to show you the covers, but we also like you to know that there's stuff on the inside.
There is a
That is
story on the
Equally
inside.
cool.
Yeah.
Open it
Yeah.
up. More wonders await.
That's right. That's
Courtesy
right. And the
of
better
CB.
this campaign does, the more opportunity we will have to do some more. And there are crazy limited edition metals and holofoils as well for all of the covers. There are logo editions. That's your basic books. There are virgin editions. There are holofoils. There are metals. You can get your books graded if you should so desire. And there is a Bad Kitty metal card set as well. I'm not sure how many of these they made. Does it say how many they're making? Not seeing how many they're making,
For the
but
rewards, it might say how many are available.
maybe, but that's more work.
Yeah, it is more
Yeah.
work.
And I did just hear from them
Only
today.
100 sets.
Oh, is that where you see it? It's in the thing? Okay, so there's 100
It's
sets.
in the,
And
it's
again,
in
that
the
was
actual tier. Yeah.
yeah, and so that was part of the Indiegogo as well. So some of them were already gone. So I don't know how many are
Mhm.
left. Also, I heard today that there is a retailer interested in doing his own cover. So there is going to be a bonus retail edition out there at some point. So as soon as we know what that is, we'll let you guys know and
Cool.
let you know where to go find it and get it. So there's that. And then the book is done, everybody. The book is done. So basically, this thing is done tonight. It'll take a couple of weeks to finish finalizing the campaign, getting us paid. And then basically, they're just going to go right to work for you. So the books
Yeah.
will go out the door to y'all. CB, were you just flashing books?
I was trying to, but it's the green screen's messing with it. So
It said no.
yeah.
It mocked
Yeah.
you.
And we're just a few $100 away right now from another stretch goal as well. So right now we have this cool card that is Brian Peterson, and it is a front and back. So you get the
Ooh,
colors on the front and you get the line art on the back.
Oh, cool.
very sweet.
And then at 10.5, which is only about 320-ish bucks away, we'll get the Michael Maria. And then if we should, no, sorry, yes, 10.5. And then I know that there is a same thing. There's like a pencil back for it as well. So if we potentially reach that tonight, that is a possibility as well.
Is this related to one of your posts that you did about what does the back look like?
Oh no,
Something different.
that was
yeah.
somebody's doing some work, and they were
Yeah.
like, "Hey, what's
What does
happening
the back
here?"
of the character look like? It's like,
I was like, "Oh,
if you think about it,
I don't know."
I don't think I've ever seen a trading card that had the line art on the backside though.
no, that's really cool. That's a nice little unique feature.
Yeah,
You're welcome. That was my idea.
I like that.
Actually, I did line art for the covers for my Mite campaign, but it was just the front side of it was the line art, and the back side was like a generic like Mite picture. It wasn't the cover and then the line art. But
Yeah,
I think
I've
it's
seen
a cool
line
take
art
on.
mixed in and stuff. I think Tom has done line arts of a few different covers, but that combo is that's the first I've seen. You just broke the mold, Tom.
That's what I
Again.
do. That's what I do, man.
And everyone can picture your cover in its original phase of being at night if they want, or color it
There you
themselves.
go. Color it yourself.
There you
Yeah. Color your own card.
Yeah.
Do it your damn self.
Do what
If
you
don't
do
like it,
yourself, exactly.
do it how you want to do it.
You know, we'll do paint by numbers.
Yeah. Tom's listening carefully about that one. Giant, huge poster,
Exactly.
paint by numbers.
Yeah, I mean, I've had people ask for like posters and stuff, and I'm like, dude, this is so difficult to do this stuff because oftentimes you have to get so many of these things made, and then they're just kind of sitting around because it's like a kind of a niche market for these things.
Yeah.
It was like that. Somebody asked one time about metal prints. The
Mhm.
same sort of deal. It's like, they are very cool, but
Yeah.
they're very niche, and so and then you have to get them. They're expensive to print, and then they sit, and then you have to ship them, and then you have to lug them
Yeah.
around. It's like, so
So up next, guys, of course, for CB and I is Goth Day Part 3. For those of you on Patreon, you got to see that cover. You got the
it
big
is
reveal.
so cool.
Oh, did you see it, Shawnee?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's really awesome.
Thank you.
So, yeah.
I haven't seen it. You guys are making me feel left out.
That's the point. Go join Patreon.
I have a feeling you have an in. If you ask somebody really nice, they'll probably show up to you.
Send me a pic of CV's cover.
Yeah.
It's cool. It came out like beyond what I was expecting. And
It surprised
really,
a lot of me.
it was the second choice too, because
Yeah.
I kind of pitched him an idea that he was like, yeah, I can do that. But then he was like, well, let me show you this, because I kind of did something similar with Mite.
hmm
And I was like, yeah, it's kind of the same. And then I just kind of had this idea of flipping the script on it. And I didn't really know if it would even make sense. But and of course, neither did CB, because he didn't know what the hell to draw, because I didn't send him any reference. So he was like,
Yeah.
I
You're like
guess I'll just
being
make it up.
Yeah. I'm thinking like lace. What is this? How am I going to pull this off? It made a lot more sense after the reference came through.
You're like, ah.
Yeah.
So it looks awesome. It looks awesome. If you guys are not part of Patreon, you can join anytime you like. Big Dog Inc. Patreon.com/Big Dog Inc. We've got like 27 people over there that get to do all kinds of fun stuff. They get to watch everything get made, from lines to colors to logos to character designs to getting to vote on characters' names. They got to vote on who the pillow fight contestants are this year. All kinds of fun stuff, bonus material over at patreon.com. So go have a peek. Also, every 6 months, the VIP members all get a free variant cover for that, which Shawnee got hers.
That's worth it alone right there.
Yeah.
It is. The first time it happened, I was like, I didn't order this because I forgot about it. It was like, oh, Patreon, that's right. Now I know, look forward to it.
Yeah.
It's not that fun.
and I can tell you, I already know July's is already done.
Yep. Freddie and I got ours. Yep.
So you guys will have your July books quickly,
Cool.
because it's done, and we'll put them in whatever packages are going out the door at that time. So yeah, it's a good time. It's fun over there. If you like to kind of
you do a
learn how
variant every month,
every 6 months,
gotcha.
every 6 months.
And you gotta be in there the whole 6 months to get it, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Sometimes we've had some people come in where it's like, they're there for like 4 or 5 months, and I'm like, that's fine. I'll get it in there. But as to date, it really hasn't been an issue. It's kind of been oddly in sync with that kind of stuff. Shawnee got in right after the first one. She missed the Shark Appreciation Week variant.
It was funny. It was just timing. It was like Nom says, and you're everyone that you don't get. I'm like, yeah, it's okay. But
Got one more back, or
You got another
but
one?
it was funny. He was having a sale, and an oddball one just happened to be in one of the mystery boxes that he was going through during one of the live sales. I said, mine. So I know I'll kind of I now have them all.
There you go. Nice.
Yep, the universe smiled on me.
Yep, and we'll be back to doing live sales tomorrow, Comic Book Shopping Network. So if you guys want to come chill out with us and see what we've got up for bids or for sale, I guess I should say, we'll be doing the Comic Book Shopping Network at 10 p.m. and then I go shopping this weekend over at towards Detroit. There's a little con that tends to have a ton of dealers out there that love to sell their comics to me. So I'm kind of excited to get back to shopping again for
And then
for
Tom
the,
loves
for
to
the
share
Sunday
that and
shows.
sell to us. So.
Yeah,
You buy lots. You buy little lots of books.
I buy a lot if I can. It's not everywhere you go is works, because there are definitely the dealers that are just like trying to pull every dime out of every book. They have this sense in their head that like everything in comics is suddenly worth a fortune because of the way that the industry is right now. And I'm like, dude, I saw you 6 months ago. You had the same shit on your wall. Like, what are you doing? At some point you got to understand the market. So, but yeah, I went
now
to
you're
this.
asking for logic, Tom. That's just
I know. What's really funny is when you're going around to booths that have comics and you're like, oh yeah, these are all like $5, $8. And I'm like, this is all stuff that's in that guy's dollar box, over there. Like, and they're like, no. I'm like, yeah. You're taking all of this home, my friend.
Mhm.
But that's just the way of the cons.
So there's this comic book store that opened up not too far from my house a few years ago. It's gone now, but when it first opened up, I was like, hell yeah. It was like right across the street from where I work. I was like, I'm going to go check this place out. I went in there, and I'm a big Jeff Scott Campbell collector, and I have this checklist. So at the time, I literally have almost every single book that he's ever put out. And I go in there and I'm checking my missing list, and I find like 15 of them. And each one of them is priced under $5 a piece. And his stuff goes for mucho dinero online. And this comic book store was basically charging $5 a book no matter what you wanted. And they were mint condition. They were great. They were like pretty much perfect condition books.
You hit the mother load.
Yeah, I stocked up. I bought all of them. I was there for like 3 hours. I dug through every single bin. I bought every single one and then 6 months later, the place closed down. I was like, hell yeah.
You got yours there.
I'm closing
shut it down.
I'm closing down, but
There's a shop here. The one shop that's close to me, it's still 45 minutes away, but it's the closest shop to me. They have tons of dollar books boxes out, and I used to go through there about once a month and just come out of there with like 2 long boxes of stuff. And they apparently got wise, and I went in one day, and there was the boxes were just really oddly, like there's just nothing in here anymore that I care about. And as I was going down the boxes, there were like new boxes at the end that had signs on them that said something like, I don't know what is it, some sort of description of like indie something or another, blah blah blah. And I'm like, what is that? And I'm going through that. And I'm like, oh, here's all of the shit that I buy, but it had all been priced up, you know. So instead of like dollar books, now you're looking at 5, 6, 7. I'm just like, you sons of bitches. And what's funny is I go in and I still look at it from time to time, and it's all still just sitting there. And I'm like, I was the only one buying them, guys, but I'm not coming in and buying the stuff for $5 a book here.
It's all those
Yeah,
old
smart
image
themselves.
books that they printed like 500,000 copies of each one.
Yeah.
I went to a different comic book store and I ran into the same thing, but this time I was just digging through their bins and I found all the freaking. They literally had like every single McFarlane Spider-Man in there for $3 to $5 a piece. I mean, those things are going for $50 a piece if you go on like wherever to look those things up. I didn't get any of them. I was like, man. And I sat on it and I thought about it that night and I was like, man, I should go back and get all those McFarlane Spider-Mans. That deal is too good to pass up. I went back the next day and they were all gone. All of them were gone. Somebody else was wise to it and they bought every single one.
Ran after you and they went, oh.
Yeah. I was like, dang it, I should have bought those.
Missed it by.
You snoozed, so guess what happened?
Yeah.
He loosed.
I regret it.
I think we've all been doing things yet. Well, I'll give it up. We'll see what happens. You come back, you're like, damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, no way. I was like, there's no way these are in these bins for this cheap. Sure enough. Yeah.
They weren't anymore.
Yeah.
And you were right.
Yeah.
So.
And I did that at a con. I had a chance to get, it was like a Kong statue battling the T-Rex, and it was awesome and it was huge, and the price was so good, and I didn't have a way to get it home. So I was like, I'm like, what can I do? And I was like, I don't know. I'll try it. I'll try tomorrow. I'll see if I can figure something out. And it sold. And I was like, you dumbass. Should have just grabbed it and figured it out after the fact.
My precious.
I remember there was in the early days of my con going, and I was starting to understand original art and starting to buy into it and stuff. I remember seeing the double page wraparound cover for George Perez's Wonder Woman #1 when they rebooted the book, and it was $1,000 up on this guy's stand, and I mean $1,000 is $1,000. You're talking about 20 some years ago. I mean that's a lot of money, but you buy a house with that now if you have that piece, and so there's so much stuff that I was like, God damn it, why was I buying all this shit when I could have like bought something like truly a moment in time.
It's hard though, because sometimes I think,
you
can't always know. I mean, Perez of course is iconic, and even back then it would have been a great thing to have, but it's tough, especially with comics. Sometimes it's tough to know. And like you said, even back then, $1,000 is not chump change.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, I've had those decisions too. I've seen things. I go now and I'm going, I had an opportunity to get that. But hindsight is 20/20. So
I think I got away from buying things for the sake of like, well, I could sell it later or it'll be worth something later, and just started collecting just whatever I wanted. Regardless of, because it made me happy and I liked it. There's certain books that I still want to go back and get that probably nobody gives two shits about, but I want them because they're nostalgic.
I'm with you. I definitely have things like that in my collection and everything else. People go, why did you buy this?
Yeah.
Because I like it. Because it means something to me. Because it makes me happy, damn it. Leave me
Mhm.
alone. Don't judge me. They're like, okay.
Yeah.
Stay away from the crazy woman. That's right. Don't be mocking my books.
So we got
Yeah,
Christian
man.
hanging out here, guys. Christian's here, guys. We've
What's
got 25 minutes to go. 25 minutes to go.
It's a song by Johnny Cash.
22 minutes to go.
Got 22 minutes. Yep. No longer a song by
22
Johnny
minutes.
Cash.
Yeah, no longer. Something different.
Different song.
I don't know that song.
Probably a rap song we
Ooh.
none of us want to know.
It's a good one. It's about a guy going to the gallows. He's gonna be hanged for his crimes. He's got 25 minutes to go.
Was Johnny
It's a
Cash?
good one.
Yeah.
Cash, yep.
I think if I remember correctly, it was written by Shel Silverstein. Which is
I got the Johnny Cash Greatest Hits CD, but that's the only one I got.
yeah.
I don't have. Yeah, I don't know if he's Shel. I wouldn't be surprised if Shel Silverstein wrote it. He writes some really amazing stuff. I have a lot of his books of poetry and his kids stuff. So
Yeah.
he's very avant-garde.
Yes. Have you ever listened to him read his poetry,
No,
especially his kids' poems? He's creepy as anything. He's got that jet black beard and he's bald and he's got this creepy way of reading his poem, and it's like, oh man, it's a whole different twist.
It's probably a good thing I've never heard him read his poetry.
Yeah, it's an experience, but yeah, his poetry is really cool.
Yeah.
It's fun. He's creative. He's done a lot of stuff. Did a lot of stuff, I should say. Oh, we're being invaded by Canada now.
Uh-oh, look out. What's up?
We have gone international.
Canada. Canada.
Canadian.
Oh my gosh, 20 minutes, guys. 20 minutes. This has been, I mean, it's been a really weird campaign. Like I was telling you guys earlier. It's been a really good campaign considering it's a second chance thing. But we've had nearly 40 dropouts in the course of
That's
just
nuts.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of them were not really huge dropouts because most of the people were just buying like one book or whatever. And then they would, so you're out $22 or whatever it is. But some of them were big. And just the sheer amount of dropouts in a 2-week span. And the dropouts started on day 4. Day 4 and 5 were really, really bizarre days because we were doing really well, 1, 2, 3, and then 4 and 5 were just like drop out. Some guy comes in, drop out. 2 guys come in. Like it was just this maddening. We can't get anywhere for like 2 days, and then out of the blue, whoosh, we got another spike, going up, and then we had like another
series of
4 days of just dropouts in, dropouts. It's like, what is happening right now? It was very strange. Very
That is
strange.
I've backed, I don't know, 25 different Kickstarters, maybe more. And not once, I don't think I've ever just like randomly dropped out. Like if I back a Kickstarter, I'm pretty sure, I want whatever it is that I'm backing. And I'm going to back it if I know I can afford it. So I'll be like, all right. I'll
Dropouts are normal. We all get them.
Yeah.
But it was very strange to get them so early in the campaign.
Yeah.
That was like really strange. In fact, there's a guy who, there's 2 guys, but one of them, Larry knows this. I call him 5-Day Daniel because he will come in and he will last for about 5 days and then he'll be gone every single time. So 5-Day Daniel. 5-Day Daniel this time lasted 3 days. He came in and he was gone in 3 days. Like,
Shorter campaign.
Let me be a part of it.
And then there's another guy.
Man. Come on, he just wants to.
Yeah, and I don't know who Daniel is. I know some Daniels in social media, but I don't know who this particular Daniel is. And then there's another guy who I know who he is, who also comes in and he's good for about a week. And then he dropped out. And he dropped out also on day 4 along with Daniel. So I was like, well, at least we got you guys out of
They're
the
getting
way.
together. They're talking. They're
Check it
comparing
out.
notes.
Sounds like you guys need to get a betting pool going on how long it'll last.
Yeah.
$20.
How long does
4 days.
5-Day Daniel last this time?
Yeah.
Well, at least 5-Day Daniel and the other guy, they it seems to like the one pulled the other out. So at least they went together and you got rid of them, and so that's fine. So
Yeah.
they came, they went.
It's interesting in the it's interesting on the watching the back end of these things, guys. You really have no idea. And here's the other thing. So like they put a video on this for those that don't know. They put a video on this that you guys are welcome to listen to if you feel like it. I am not going to play it because it's a pointless 45-second thing. But I don't really put videos on my stuff.
I didn't even see the
But they
plan.
asked me, they were like, just do something and we'll put it on the video. And I assumed that they were going to make like a video, right, for the book, and then just sort of put my
Your 2 cents in.
my little quotes or
Voiceover.
something
Yeah.
like in it somehow. No, they were just like, there it is. And it's just me talking. It's just like this. It's literally like what you see right here. It's just me talking. Oh, this Bad Kitty and the thing and the thing and the thing and the thing. But
You didn't even do your movie guy voice, like in a world.
I
where
didn't
Bad
do
Kitty-
anything.
Oh,
I didn't do anything. But on the back end, you can look at the video plays. So there was 112 video plays, right?
Mhm.
Only 38% played through the whole thing, right? Now, the video
You can
It's-
say till completion.
the video is 45 seconds long. So 38% of the people lasted 45 seconds.
I'm out. I'm
So
out.
this is why I don't do videos,
Tapped
people.
out.
That's what
Because
she
nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Boom.
But you know what? I did a video for Black Rabbit that it was up around like almost 80% watched the completion. But I also had a cosplayer playing Black Rabbit.
Mhm.
It was very
Yeah, you-
short though. I usually keep, if I do a video, it's usually under 30 seconds. I don't
You
want
made
to
a- Yeah, you made a Playboy video and people watched it. That's not a surprise.
Yep.
It's no surprise there.
Yeah,
Did you use the same video for the second issue?
I did not. I actually had her do a different one the second time around.
But
so.
Nice.
same idea though. Same
Yes,
general whatever. Yeah.
But now that they know it's there, they'll go, oh, there's another video.
Yeah.
So 15 minutes, guys. 15 minutes to go. Get your books.
What is Freddie talking about over here? I see he says they need their money for $600.
Oh, all the dropouts,
What is that?
like
What is-
5-day Daniel.
There's a stupid Spider-Man cover where he's battle rapping Eminem.
Oh, is that what
that
it
has
is?
gone crazy in the resale market. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about, I don't know, it's like 4
Wow.
months old now or so. Yeah.
Why? I don't
I think I saw it somewhere. I forgot, and I was.
I have happily never
Is
seen
that
it. and
Marvel's
I have no
version
desire
of
to.
Muhammad Ali versus Superman?
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. It was basically Spider-Man in 8 Mile. So Spider-Man was because literally they're on stage, and so Spider-Man took the place of Anthony Mackie, I guess. And
Yeah.
they're just battle rapping on the stage. So
That's a
what-
great trivia question because I don't think a lot of people realize Anthony Mackie was the guy who was it Clarence, I think is his real name.
Yeah.
And-
Yes.
There you go. Tom's making a note.
yeah.
Oh, I know.
I know.
I love 8 Mile. 8 Mile is a great movie.
Oh, it is.
8 Mile is a great movie. And I believe he won the Oscar for the song too.
Yeah, I think you're
Oh,
right.
yeah.
It is, yeah.
Looking at Bad Kitty, I got to get a hold of someone from Dynamite. They sent me the books to sign
Mhm.
to send back,
Mhm.
but I wrote them an email that because I don't know if I'm supposed to sign all of them or if some of those are my comps.
No,
Oh.
CD, I got mine too right here, man. And,
Yeah.
if you have you have to get your packing slip, your little invoice on your box, and it'll tell
Yep.
you how many you got to sign or return. Do you have
Yeah.
your packing slip?
Yeah, I looked at it, but even that I didn't quite. It looked like it was only 4, but like I said, it didn't say anything about it being comps or anything, so I wasn't sure what to do at that point.
Well, I told
mine
them.
is addressed to you. Mine says Dear CB.
Oh my goodness.
So maybe
Because I
don't
told
know.
them, I was like, if you guys have to send stuff to get signed, just send them their comps too. So that was
Okay.
at least that's what I told them. So
Yeah.
you know, I was like, make it easy on everybody.
Yeah, mine is
Whether it went
all right.
in one ear, not the other, we don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
They said to keep all your supplies and send them back whatever they asked for. They asked me for 4, so I gotta send them back 4.
Yeah, I got to do that too. So
Yeah, just
I
shoot
just
them
have to
if
email
you
them.
got a question, just shoot them a message.
yeah, I did, but I haven't heard back, and that was probably a week ago or whatever when I got them. But,
Okay.
I'll write them tomorrow. We'll team up.
I'll bug
Yeah.
'em.
Okay.
Tag team.
We'll bug them. We'll get it figured out.
CB
11
and Brian are going to do a real live wrestling cover. Tag team.
11
If I was the
minutes.
wrestler, I'd probably be like those guys with the spikes. Them. Yeah,
You just cross pollinated. The guys with the spikes were demolition. The guys that do this were the bushwhackers.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
Okay, all right. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm rusty. I'm
Bushwhackers.
still out of it. I'm 30 years at the game, so I don't.
Yeah.
There we go. Freddie's always willing to help. He
Mhm.
says, send him to him. He'll sign him.
Yeah. Yeah. Can definitely
Freddie
do
likes
that.
to be a team player.
Yep. 11 minutes. Huh?
11. Crazy.
11 minutes. Yeah, I remember. So Larry's in here. He 2 times ago. So it would have been, I guess, for Princesses versus Zombies. And he was like, "So did you show the fireworks on the screen?" I was like, "What the hell are you talking about?" And he was like, when it finishes, it like goes off on fireworks.
Just
And I
like
was
little
yep.
confetti
I don't know what
fireworks,
that
yeah.
means, dude. And so
What?
for Ursa Minor, when we did our countdown, I went ahead and left it on, and I was like, "Oh, there's fireworks." Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So now he knows.
So Larry, you'll get to watch some big dogging fireworks. Only the second ever publicly displayed set of big dogging fireworks.
Hey, on the subject of Canada, I just saw that there was a Comic-Con last weekend that had all 3 of the Trailer Park Boys there. I was like, oh man, I want to go. Where's that at? I want to go see those guys. Love that show.
I've only watched a couple of those.
So it's hard to get into. I'm not gonna lie. I had to give it 2 tries. I watched like 2 episodes back to back, and I didn't like it. And I was like,
but he's not a quitter, so he's stuck with it.
For me, it was the opposite, right? I watched it and I was like, okay, this is funny, but there's like 7 seasons, and so I found it to start dragging because it was basically like the same jokes, just for 7 seasons of this thing. So I finished it and I enjoyed it overall, but it's like, yeah, we're done. I think we're done now. We really need to be done now.
There's some shaky. There's a couple shaky seasons. I have a hard time watching the first 2 because the first 2 they were very rough in what they were doing. They didn't quite know what they were doing yet.
They didn't know what they were doing.
No,
Yeah.
and
I mean, it was a lot of improv stuff and just
they
they're
had
just
a camera
going.
crew following them around for the camera crew goes everywhere with these guys. Well, the first 2 seasons, the camera is all over the place. You're trying to watch and like you're like, ugh. By the halfway through the episode, you're like, quit shaking the camera. But they fix it by like season 3. It's not so bad.
Is it the film equivalent of somebody go jiggle the handle?
I found that there's actually 12 seasons of that, and I just made it through the 12th
12?
season. 12. There's 12. I got
Whoa.
through. I finally finished the last episode about a month ago. I was like, it took me 4 years to watch them all. But
Yeah, I binged it last year to get through it all, and I knew that at some point Mr. Leahy died.
he
And I
did.
didn't
die.
realize that he died after they did the last season.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's why they were like, okay, I guess we're done now. I mean, they did some movies and some other stuff too afterwards. Some stuff where they like went to different countries and things
Yeah,
like
some
that.
of those are funny. I've been watching that. I've been chipping away at those since I finished the series. So I'm watching like the tours and
They're
stuff.
okay. Yeah, they're okay.
Yeah. There was one where they went to New Orleans and they ate a bunch of mushrooms and were walking around New Orleans out of control on mushrooms. It's pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie.
I have to admit, you're not selling this for me at all. I have no interest in it.
I grew up with so many like crazy out of control people that like these guys are such wild people. They remind me of people that I used to hang out with and know, and I almost feel like I can connect with these guys on a level from my past, and it's hilarious. I don't know, everything about them. It just
Are you telling us that you were Canadian once, Brian?
not Canadian, not Canadian. No, never been.
Just crazy.
Not Canadian, but they're great, man. I don't know. It took me a few tries, but it's worth it. What I tell people is, if you're not
those
sure,
episodes,
watch the Trailer Park Boys movie. Just watch the movie. It starts off on like the beginning of season 2, so you're not really missing anything. Like season 1 doesn't really touch on anything, but if you're not sure if you want to watch Trailer Park Boys or not, watch the Trailer Park Boys movie and go from there.
And then that'll tell you one way or the other whether it's
Yeah.
like cool or nope.
Yeah, but it's good. It's a good movie.
I was just looking at Bad Kitty on Indiegogo. I wanted to see how it compared, and we got more backers this time around in a shorter campaign.
Mhm.
What was the
Pretty cool.
final Indiegogo numbers?
210,
210, and how much money?
11.8,
Okay.
11.871.
That's good. That's good. Well, and on this campaign, we have like I was saying, like the guys that dropped out, a lot of these people are just buying one book. It's
Right.
not a lot of like people buying all of them. And so, and even in the other cases, like a lot of the Big Dog Ink people went to Indiegogo and bought a bunch of those books. So they really only had a book or two to buy over here. So it wasn't like they came back and they had like 8 covers to buy again. So
Right.
that's what I'm saying. It was a very interesting campaign to kind of watch and see, because I've never done anything like this where we had like a second chance thing in either direction.
I don't
So
think
it's
I've ever
interesting.
seen one.
We haven't done one. No.
No, you're breaking borders twice today, Tom.
Well, I mean, this is
I've seen it.
dynamite, but you know, this is. But
I know
I'm
a couple
involved.
different creators that do that. They do one platform and then the other.
I suppose I have seen that. I like.
It's. I wouldn't say it's normal, but
No.
it's. It
But I've
happens.
seen it.
It certainly happens.
So,
But normally it goes from Kickstarter to Indiegogo, and I don't know what the. I don't know what would have happened if we went the other way, So it's interesting to see that we basically matched what Indiegogo did, but we matched it in.
a shorter
They did that
camp.
in 2 months.
Very-
We did this
yeah.
in 2 weeks.
Right.
So I think that goes to show you that the market for this stuff really does exist here first and foremost.
Mhm.
And then other platforms can certainly work. I mean, we did almost 12,000 the other way, so it worked. But I think it's pretty clear that you should probably start here and then take it wherever else you want to take it. Whether it's Indiegogo, whether it's Crowdfunder, whether it's Zoop, whether it's wherever.
I thought it was interesting. I got some emails from Indiegogo about, like with my last campaign with Black Rabbit, about continuing it over there, just transferring everything
Mhm.
to kind of keep it going, almost like a backer kit, but using Indiegogo as that.
Mhm.
I wanted to look into that a little bit more and just see what that's all about, if it's something that could work.
I think Billy Tucci has done that.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's done that with some of his She campaigns. And then
Yeah.
I think I know another one too. Yeah, they do that. They literally just rolls.
That's where.
And I think they've done it the other way as well. I think they started
what do you
to
mean it
they've actually
rolls?
rolled to the. It's
They just go from Kickstarter to Indiegogo. It's done. They go to the other one and start it over
Just
there.
like back to back, like you end
Almost.
here and you start over there.
Pretty much, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's a
kind
bit
of.
of a space, but yeah, it's pretty close. Yeah, they'll do
Yeah.
it.
Right about it.
So
once one wraps up and they get it finished up, they go over to the other one. That's totally where I saw it. Billy Tucci. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people do it. I've just never watched the timeline to see like how fast they started it up.
I'm with Freddie. I'm not a fan of paying up front. So that's what Indiegogo is not my preferred for a variety of reasons, but that's the big one.
I don't mind the payment up front. I don't like how they don't have add-ons. You have to reorder things multiple times. If you want more than one, you got to pay shipping.
If you don't get it in the initial go, then you have to deal with it again. Then you reorder and everything else. And it's like,
yeah, because there was one Indiegogo that I did where I bought like 3 or 4 covers and I had to pay shipping 4 times. What the hell?
Yeah.
I mean, come on, guys.
yeah, that was my first experience with Indiegogo. I think I did that, and I realized I'm like, well, that's not cool.
Yeah, and then
that colored my opinion, and so I've been more careful. But yeah, but now I'm like, I just want one. It's like, oh, well, that looks cool. Oh, I can't add it on. Forget it. Never mind.
Yeah, I wrote Indiegogo a message and actually told them they need to have an add-on thing. And I actually told them that exact story. I was like, this is stupid. Why are people doing this? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like being able. I'm with Andrew. I like being able to sometimes. Because sometimes I'll pledge and then I realize I want a different tier. So I like being able to mix it up and have that time, a chance to change things around if I want.
Yeah.
Oh, Andrew's a dropper. Just kidding, Andrew.
Andrew was our 246th backer. He was the one that just dropped in
Boom.
right
Nice.
before we wrap up here. And guys, it'll be 12 days. 12 days. We are launching Penny for Your Soul on
Dun,
Kickstarter.
dun, dun.
12 friggin' days. We are going to go heavy into all of the marketing and all the art. We're going to show you guys very soon. There's so much coming in. It's ridiculous. We're very excited to get this Penny for Your Soul remaster out to you all. So yeah,
Your lineup of artists sounds pretty cool.
it's wild.
It's wild.
It's wild.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Wild and crazy.
So he's like,
Wild and crazy guys.
Yeah.
We're getting ready for the
I know,
fireworks.
we're in the
Yep.
red seconds now. So.
I hope Larry's still here for this moment.
I know, right? It's like this is all for you, Larry.
It's actually confetti. It's confetti bombs.
Yeah, confetti fireworks.
Confetti without the mess.
Yeah.
What's up, Andrew?
And
Woohoo!
Poof, poof, poof.
We made it.
There it is.
there it is.
Shazam.
All the way to completion.
There we go, guys. There we go. There it is. Bad
Woohoo.
Kitty is complete.
Done deal.
Yeah, boy. Thanks to everybody who backed 240. So total then we had 450 backers between both campaigns and 22-ish thousand dollars between the two campaigns. So that's fantastic. We hope you guys enjoy the book. This is where Shawnee comes in and says it's amazing.
It's amazing.
There you go. Very good.
It sounded like a sound bite.
We planned it
Can
out.
we hit that button again? Ready? Go.
It's
It's
amazing.
amazing.
Oh my God. So tomorrow.
Tom has me on for a reason.
Yeah.
Because you're amazing, Shawnee.
Oh, thank you.
So tomorrow I send an email to Dynamite saying, so what's next? What do we do now? And we start to figure out if, what, and when is next for Bad Kitty. So hopefully they will look at all of this and say, yeah, this makes sense. Let's do this thing. And we'll figure out how to do some more. Again, CB and I will be doing that Goth Day thing. It's happening. It's right around the corner, May 22nd. It will be a Monday. We will be launching on a Monday, everybody. A little strange, but if that's what Goth Day does, it just kind of moves around.
Is that a one day only thing?
No, we do it for basically a week for Goth Day, but there will be this time, everybody, just so you know, there will be Goth Day Day 1 only items. So be aware and prepared for that. Obviously, we'll tell you, we'll give you all the details of what's going on there. I already know what it is.
I would hope so.
Well, we got a lot of months ahead of us. We got March, April. We got like basically almost 3 months before we got to get there. So in between, we have Penny for Your Soul, a week from Saturday, March 4th. March 20th is
Alien Abduction Day.
Alien Abduction Day, which will be part of the Penny for Your Soul campaign, in addition to just being able to get it, on the web store. But Alien Abduction Day, the Ukalik story.
And is this the start of the BDI 365?
That's right.
I
So
see. I was
Jason
paying
Hay
attention.
here, and Narcelio Sousa, and the first official BDI 365 books. Those will be part of Penny for Your Soul. Look at this. I feel so like everything's here, man. Like boom, boom, boom. Although I do have art now that is not here. I have much more to show you. Go join Patreon. Because it all goes there first, folks. They get to see everything happen. They get to be prepared for all of the stuff that we're doing, and they get freebies. In addition to the 6-month book, they also, if you are a Patreon backer at any level, and you are a Kickstarter backer, you also get what is called a Patreon perk, which is basically a sketch card. Says Patreon perks on the back, and we have had April Reyna do those for us. We have had CB Zane do those for us. We have Justin Hunt doing some of those for us. We've had Chris Enott do some of those for us. We have MR Gunn doing some of those for us right now.
I got my Chris Enott. It was cool.
There you go. There you go. And so far, only one of them have been held out of being out of circulation. That is the shark. The shark card is not in circulation. That is in the BDI archives. But I'm sure we'll talk CB into doing some more cards, and maybe he'll do another shark for y'all.
I think we can sweet talk him into that.
But again, freebie stuff, guys. It's just freebie stuff. Just join Patreon, and you get freebie stuff. It's as simple as that.
And then April is April 1st.
April 1st is Pillow Fight Day. Another one of our 365 BDI 365s, Pillow Fight Day. The Patreon members got to vote on who the contestants would be.
And we threw Tom for a loop, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was not what I expected at all. It was almost what I expected, at least in one situation, but then it took a turn. And so our Pillow Fight contestants this year, and for those that don't know, this is the 3rd year we've done this. Although this will be the first time we actually have a story for it. All the others have just been Pillow Fight covers. The contestants this year will be Danica and Scheherazade, of all things. So we'll be working on that. Jason Hay here is working on the Ukalik story right now. All of these 365 books, or at least most of them, are going to be little 8-page stories as well. So not just covers. We're actually doing little mini stories.
Content.
Yeah, to go with these books, original content, not just covers. So that's basically what your insides of the book will look like right there. Jason Hayer, Chris Chua, and then we have a Narcelio Sousa and Elenia Di Napoli variant cover. And Jason's doing the interiors. So when we're done with that, he will be moving over to the Pillow Fight cover. And on and on and on and on all year long. So Freddie already wants one of each. That's
my wallet is already crying, but that's okay.
The way we like to do it.
Yep.
It's going to be fun. I think it's going to be really fun. And we have so Brian is actually going to be part of this Penny for Your Soul thing too. He's working on his cover, and when he's done with that, actually, I was going to say that you were going back to your other thing, but I actually had something pop up that I might need you to do before we do that other thing, because I was looking at at the
Oh,
schedule
wait,
for
there's
stuff,
more.
and I was like, shit. Maybe we'll let Brian do that.
Yeah, I got
Um,
time.
So yeah, because the other one that he's doing is not till September.
Joshua.
So yeah, I'll figure that out. But get that one done first, and then we'll go from there.
Throw it on me. I'll have
you
this
were-
one done in a couple days here.
I'm trying to remember what the hell it was going to be. Now I don't even remember what it was. I just actually remembered something else, but that's for Princess Day. That's way down the line.
Yeah.
November 18th is Princess Day. We'll be back for that. I have something special for Brian to do there. But yeah, there was something else, and now I don't remember what it was. I'll figure it out. Joshua, you're catching us right at the end, my friend. Anybody got any questions about what we're just kind of shooting the breeze here for a minute, talking about
can you do me a
upcoming
favor? Can
stuff?
you remember run down the lineup for Penny, the artist? So you can kind
Okay.
of
So
you can do it.
step one is the hardcover. The hardcover edition is going to have a Keith Garvey cover, which I'll probably do a teaser for that tomorrow because I have it now. I have the art. We'll do the Keith Garvey teaser tomorrow. That will be a wraparound cover like Ula Moss did with the Critter hardcover. So it'll be similar to that type of a thing. And then Keith is also doing the Dust Jacket edition. So there will be 200 hardcovers made. 100 of them will come with the Dust Jacket, and he will have art for both of those. Then the trade paperback, the actual paperback edition, JB Netto is finishing his cover, which is a little sort of homage tribute to his original cover with the girl sitting on the blackjack table. So he's doing the cover because it's his book. So he's doing that cover. And then we have the wraparound, like the white wraparound that we tend to do for these things by Mike Chrome. And Sanju Nivengun is in the process of coloring that. I should have that soon for teasers for you. So that's your trade paperback book. And then to go along with it, because we know that we have people that like just issues and not into the trade paperbacks. So that's fine. We've got a complete brand new set 1 through 7 of War, Penny for Your Soul War, completely remastered. So the hardcover will be remastered. All of these single issues will be remastered. We're doing 50 sets, and that's it, of these 7 issues. And those artists are Brian Peterson, M.R. Gunn, Nia Ruffino, Narslio Sousa, Eisenetto Adamar, Jason Hayhier, and who just turned his in and it's all done, colored and everything, and Ryan Kincaid, who just turned his piece in, which is batshit crazy and beautiful.
Yep.
It's being colored right now, so we'll have a teaser for that soon.
I can't wait to
yeah.
see the colors. It's going to be amazing.
Oh yeah, for sure. So that's 7. We'll have a 50-piece set of that available, and then there will also be foils of that available. They'll be printed to order.
Freddie.
So if you want to get crazy, get
See you,
crazy.
Freddie.
See, Brandy.
We'll see you, Freddie. And then we will also have day 1 exclusives as well. So keep your eyes open if you are into
There's
the
a
super
little
limited.
rundown.
Yeah. So that's the penny rundown. And then of course, so what we're going to do is, you've already seen the art here, again for the Alien Abduction Day. But what we're going to do is it will be available when we launch the campaign for Penny for Your Soul. You can buy it anytime you want, but the image will be blacked out there until March 20th, and then we'll reveal the whole thing on March 20th. So if you want to wait, you can wait and add it on. If you're just like, give it to me like Freddie, you'll be able to buy it and add it in whenever you want to add it in. And that's what we're going to do with some of these things as we do some of our campaigns. For example, the BD13 anthology in July is going to have one of our special days as one of the variant covers. And so again, it will be available when the campaign launches, but it'll be blacked out until the day of the day. And then we'll open it up and you can see the art and do whatever you want.
Or if you're on Patreon like me, then you can.
If you're on
you've already
Patreon,
seen
you'll
it,
know what's
and
coming.
you already know, and you go like,
That's right.
I want it. So
You'll know what's happening. Yes, that's correct. That's correct. So my first show is going to be Duke City Comic Con out in Albuquerque, middle of June 16th to the 18th. I already have a bunch of people that are like, I'm going. So I'm like, awesome. That's badass. I know I talked to Brian about potentially going out. Any word on potentially going out, Brian?
I'm not sure if I can make it this year. I'm really super bummed about it. I have a concert going on that it's kind of like me and my wife's thing that we go to every single year. It's that Friday night, and it's either like sacrifice our thing or go do the show. And I think my wife would probably kill me if I pick a show
I
over
think
our,
you
like,
probably need to stay with your thing. Yeah, that's
yeah. So as much as I
We need to
seriously
keep
regret it, and I
art.
really, really, really want to be there, don't get me wrong. I think I have to do this show with my wife. It's just kind of our thing.
All right, there you go. He's
Tom
made
may
his
mock you,
choice.
but I understand.
Made his choice.
I really want to be there. Don't get me wrong. I do. I do.
I guess we believe you. It's all
Next time you come out to Albuquerque, I'm there for sure, Tom.
Fine. I guess
Let's
that's
do an
fine.
exclusive together.
I guess
I'll do
that's
the
fine.
hard part.
I
We'll do a little
I've
exclusive.
heard that Nia is coming, so at least she'll be there.
She'll be there.
So there'll be some BDI stuff happening in Duke City. That's June, and then July and August there'll be some shows. Do you have anything planned at this point, CB, for cons?
No, I put my name out there for a couple. I'm hoping. I'm waiting to hear back, but nothing definite outside of Akron for now. I know I had planned on traveling a little bit this year, but I have my youngest is graduating high school, so I have a grad party and a bunch of other stuff to take care of that is kind of eating away my time and money. So I think next year will be the world tour.
All right.
Those darn,
All right.
personal things that life stuff keeps
Yeah.
getting in the way, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
got
was
to
hopeful too. I was hoping maybe this year I could do a little more traveling stuff, and it's just not panning out
Yeah.
well, which is fine. But I'm like, well, then I'll just save up for next time. So it's
Yep.
just,
What's the next Outpost campaign? Do you have a schedule on that yet?
ooh,
Yeah, right now it looks like Might number 2 is going to launch sometime in April. I have my art book I'm working on, which I plan on launching probably in August. And then in between that, there's a good chance I'm going to put together a trade paperback for Into the Suck, which will collect all 6 issues. So I'm excited about that. And that
Okay.
should take care of most of the year. Scorpion will be fit in there as well, but Mike and I haven't quite laid that out yet.
okay.
So still a busy year to come. And Goth Day, of course.
Of course.
Good old Goth Day.
Yeah.
All right. So again, guys, thank you so much. Dynamite has been really great to us, and hopefully they are happy with the results of these 2 campaigns. We'd love to do some more. I've already pitched them more, so
Fingers crossed.
now it's in their court once again.
Yeah.
Yes, Mighty Might.
Mighty Might.
Yep.
Mhm.
Mighty Might.
Yep.
Do.
Yep. Couple months.
So get ready, Mike.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get to do some more Bad Kitty. As soon as I get a green light, we'll let you guys know what the plan is. But we're gonna let them marinate in all this information. We're gonna let them get the books out to everybody. And
That would be a big first. Yes.
yes, yeah. And then we'll see what happens. I will tell you that there is catnip news. Be sure you have your catnips first appearances. That's all I can tell you right now. It's catnip news. Again, as soon as I get the green light, you guys will know. Patreon people already know because I told them.
My lips are sealed. I'm saying nothing.
I told them. But if you do not have a first appearance of Catnip, it is the spin-off comics #1, which also has Mighty Might in it, and Wendy Shaner's Sireness. So if you do not have one, I am honestly, I don't know how many you have left. We had about 200 extras left over for each of us. I am down to almost, I think, 30. Like I'm almost out of this book. So you can get them from me, guys. But if I run out, you can always still get them, I think, from CB and Wendy, who might still have some.
Yeah, I still have some copies.
Okay.
Groovy.
Yep.
So pay attention. Catnip news on the horizon. And I think that's going to do it, folks. I'll be back tomorrow. Comic Book Shopping Network. We'll be doing our live sales show tomorrow. And then Sunday, we'll see what I was able to buy at the con. And we'll have some fun on Sunday night with some weird stuff. So thanks for hanging out, everybody. Thanks, Brian.
It's been a lot of fun as always.
CB.
Yeah.
Always good to see you guys.
Yeah, and we'll, like I said, we'll be back in 12 days. Penny for your soul. It's fast and furious this year, folks. We'll see you.